Michelle with Pink and Maine. Thanks so much for joining me today. We're going to be making some cards with the July 2021 Crafty Courtyard kit. The theme is Farmer's Market. I've got everything prepped and ready for our first card. And for this card, we're going to use our postcard. I love to use the postcard that comes with the kit in a card design. So I've cut the postcard down to fit on this gold frame, and this gold glitter paper I cut with our scallop rectangle die. That gold glitter paper in the kit is so gorgeous. You just have to see it in person. So let's glue these together. I'm doing an A2 size card, a little bit of a fun fold card. So I've taken the front panel of our card base and I've just folded it back in half. So we have kind of this accordion opening card. From the pattern paper pack, I have cut out some different patterns that I'm going to decorate each piece of this accordion fold here. I've cut a piece of the stripe paper to go on the inside of the card just to decorate that a little bit. And then I've cut a white rectangle to kind of go in the middle of that. That'll give me a nice place to write a message to the recipient of the card. So here's our accordion card base that we've created so far. I've even decorated a little bit of the outside that you might see as you open it up. Make it extra fun. Now we're ready to add our postcard to the front that's on top of this glittered scallop frame panel. And we're going to glue that onto this flap here and just kind of center it. And now I realize that I put this together. This plaid piece was supposed to go on the back of here, but I made the mistake and I glued it there. So you're really not going to see it, but that's okay. Nobody knows but me, right? Except now you know because I told you. I design these cards and get everything cut out and ready to go together, sometimes weeks before I actually get a chance to film the video. So when I go to film the video and I pull all the parts and pieces of the card, I have to quickly figure out and remember what I had planned to do with all those pieces. And this is sometimes what happens, a piece goes in the wrong place, but that's okay. You really don't see this under piece anyway where the plaid was going to go, because as you open it you do see the polka dots a little bit. But now we have our accordion card with that nice postcard, little hint of gold glitter on it, but we're not done quite yet. I wanted to add a little bit more dimension to the front of this card. It's a little flat, the postcard's just a flat piece. And so I wanted to add some dimension. So out of some craft fun foam that I have, I die cut a piece with the coordinating die that cuts out the banner. And I cut it out. I used the same sentiment, thinking of you, and stamped it and die cut the banner out. We're just going to glue those down on top of the card just to add that extra dimension. I love the dimension that adds. It says, thinking of you, I am hoping you are well. The last bit I'm going to add to this card will be some of our glittery enamel dots that came in the kit. They match perfectly with everything inside the kit. And here is our first card. I think it came out really neat. Our next card is an A2 size card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when folded, and it's a top folding card. I've taken a white piece of cardstock to layer on top of my card front, and I've run it through my die cut machine with the Woodgrain embossing folder that's in your kit. But instead of leaving it just white, I wanted to add that wood color. So I took some brown ink and our ergonomic blender brush, and I just quickly brushed some of that brown ink across the paper after it had been embossed. And you get this fun dimensional look. You've got the embossing of the wood, and you've got this rough brown ink blending that makes it look like real wood. It's super fun. So let's glue that to our card base. I've cut 2 strips of paper with the blue and the green cardstock that are included in the kit, and I've cut them the width of my panel here, which is 4 inches wide. And I'm going to layer those on the card like so. If you're cutting and just using strips of the cardstock for something like this, be sure to use the part of the cardstock that has the barcode and the color information on it. Just make that the back of the paper. You get 1/2 inch more of cardstock to use on your cards. With the Pink and Main layered square dies and our scallop square dies, I've cut the windmill scene out with one of the layered square dies, and I'm going to fit it on top of this super pretty gold glitter paper that I've cut with the scallop square die. There is our card so far. I think that is super pretty. We're just going to add a simple little sentiment that I stamped and cut out. It says, "I hope your day shines." And there's our card. I love the look that this wood grain embossing folder gives. You ink over it. So fun. And I wanted to mention the images in this stamp set, they already have some little lines in the artwork that help with the shaded look. So they're super easy to color. You've already got a little bit of shading with the actual line work of the stamp. So you don't have to be too fussy about adding extra shading when you're coloring these. They're super easy and they come together really quickly too. We're doing another top folding A2 size card. I've got our pieces cut out and ready to go. So with our layered rectangle dies, really nice to make layering panels, I've cut out 2 pieces to go on our card front. One from the pattern paper pack and that red glitter paper that's in the kit. So pretty. We're going to put that behind it. Next, I've cut a strip of yellow cardstock and a piece of this red polka dot to layer on top of it. And I want to put that down the center of the card. So here's our card front so far. I love the dies that are in this kit. I like these little rectangle pieces that have the corners notched out. I think it looks really cute. I've cut out this little barn scene. On the bottom in the grass, I stamped with a green ink pad, so it almost looks like a continuation of the land here. There, I'll add that banner right across the top of my scene there. And here is our card. Congratulations on your new home sweet home. And you know I've got to add some glitter enamel dots to finish it off. There, I love how that came together. Our next card is an A2 size card, but it opens up to the side. I'm going to layer it with the yellow cardstock and this really pretty plaid. I've taken a piece of the green polka dot and I'm just going to layer that along the bottom. All the way at the bottom of the plaid here. There we go. We're going to be using the dies from the set again, and this time I've colored the sunflower scene and I've stamped at the bottom, "Keep up the great work." Because on the banner I have "Best wishes." So let's glue these down to the card. And now I'm just going to add some glitter enamel dots. You could also glue down some sequins. I tend to reach for the enamel dots first just because they're so easy to adhere. And there's our finished card. I think it came out really good. For our last card, we're going to use a top folding A2 card. I have cut out with our scallop rectangle dies, I've cut out this red glitter paper again. And with the tan polka dot textured cardstock, I've cut out a panel that will fit right inside that scallop frame. And we're going to glue those down to the card front. I wanted to use quite a few of the scenes on this card. So I have 3 scenes here. I've cut them out with some of our stitch circle dies, and then I've cut larger circles with the colored cardstock to go behind the scenes. And we're just going to layer these on the card. So here's our card base. I love the 3 scenes and the circles, just highlights nicely. And the last thing I'm going to do is add a small sentiment down here in the corner. I have stamped and cut out. It says, "You are precious to me." I didn't want it just floating around in the corner down here, so I kind of put it over that green circle a little bit, and it anchors it to the card and ties it in with all of the other elements. And I think I'm going to leave this card just as it is. I think it came out really neat. Thanks so very much for joining me again today. I hope you've enjoyed these cards we've created with our July 2021 Crafty Courtyard kit, the Farmer's Market. If you haven't subscribed to our Crafty Courtyard monthly subscription kits, what are you waiting for? They just get better and better each month, and they're one of the best valued kits you can find out there. Head on over to pinkandmain.com to check it out for yourself. And until next time, my friends, keep living the creative life.